This is the Gospel America Television Network, broadcasting worldwide on Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, and online at www.gospelamerica.net. Download our app from the App Store or from Google Play and watch us on your tablet or smartphone 24 hours a day.
It's time for Real Talk with the Jenkins, featuring Lady MJ, Pastor Marcella Jenkins, and Dr. G, Dr. Gary Jenkins. And now, let's join Real Talk with the Jenkins. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Real Talk with the Jenkins. I'm Dr. G.
I'm Lady MJ.
And we are the Jenkins. Now, somebody, Lady MJ, who's not a Jenkins, but she's a guest and a friend, Stephanie Sandoval.
Yes.
We want to welcome you, Stephanie. Now, Stephanie, you have an awesome testimony, and we just want to hear from you. We first of all welcome you to Real Talk with the Jenkins.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
So talk to us about where you're from and just tell us your story.
Okay. Well, I am from a little town in New Mexico. It's called Sapio. It's about 15 miles north of another city, Las Vegas. That's more known to people around Texas, I think. And so I pretty much grew up in Las Vegas until I was a teenager, and then we moved out into the country. And I guess that's when things kind of turned around, and this is the reason I'm here today.
Okay. Well, first of all, you are a walking miracle and have a powerful testimony. And that's why we wanted to have you on the show with us, because we want people to know no matter who you are, where you are, what you're dealing with, there's always hope. And Stephanie is a living example of that. So I understand you had some problems back years ago with drugs.
Yep.
Okay, tell us about that.
And of course, all the glory goes to God, to Jesus, my Savior, for saving me from everything that He did. And I just want to lift Him up in this time. So, you know, when I was a teenager, I started using drugs and alcohol. I didn't grow up this way. My parents didn't drink, they didn't smoke. It was just something that I started to experiment with, I guess, like many teenagers. But for me, I've learned in my life, when I do something, I do it to the full. Maybe that's why the Lord wants me to serve Him, because He knows that, you know, I'm going to go all in for Him. And so my dad used to say so many times, you know, why can't you be like the rest of the kids that just, you know, use drugs a little bit and then they get over it? I never knew, but I started using alcohol and started experimenting with weed back when I was 14, 15 years old, and I graduated into that using crack cocaine, and from there I just became addicted, really full-blown addicted, not really understanding what was going on, not understanding why I was using, but I just continued 15, 16, 17, all the way to fast forward to about I was 19 years old. And at that point, I pretty much used many other drugs. It didn't matter. I just wanted to always be high all the time.
So did you get introduced to drugs at a party or in school or?
Actually, my family, my cousins.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Some of my cousins used to like to drink, and the harder drugs pretty much came from the friends at school. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When you first got introduced to drugs, you said by your cousin, how did it happen? I mean, did they just say, hey, cuz, come over here and I've got a little something I want you to try? Or was it peer pressure, or was it just the idea that, hey, I'm bored to death, I just need something to do, kind of thing?
I looked up to these cousins because I'm an only child.
Oh, wow.
So they were more like, these two specific ones were more like a sister and a brother to me. And so I think I just wanted to fit in, feel cared about, feel loved. And so, I just did it.
Are they still on drugs, or did they were able to get out of it too?
You know, they weren't on the hard drugs. They were drinkers, and they smoked weed, but they still do that to this day. Yeah.
So tell us about the struggle itself. You know, we hear so many stories of people who became addicted to, whether it's crack cocaine, heroin, or some other drug. Tell us about the struggle you went through. I mean, you didn't just wake up and say, you know, I think I'll do drugs.
No.
And then you got into it, and then you said, yeah, I think I'll get off of drugs now. It didn't happen like that. So tell us the struggle, the detail of what it was like for you.
Well, for a while, it was fun. You know, it was fun because I was having a good time. I said I was an only child, so it was a place for me to interact with friends and hang out and feel like part of a family. Like I had the brothers and sisters that I wanted, you know, that I had always dreamed about. I had a brother, and he passed away when he was 4 years old. Wow. When I was 8 months, my mom was 8 months pregnant with me. They got in a car accident, and she said an angel, it felt like an angel, laid her on the concrete, and she ran to my brother, but he passed away. Wow. And so it was always something deep in my heart, you know, that I wanted brothers and sisters, and so maybe that's why I got into it more. But, you know, it was fun until it wasn't, and then I realized I needed it at a moment. You know, when you're on crack cocaine, it's not a physical addiction like other drugs, but at that moment I just felt whole or alive, you know, when I was using. And so I continued to use, and when I wasn't using, I felt depressed, and I felt alone, and I felt empty inside, and so I just continued over and over.
When did you realize the difference between when it was fun versus
now I'm caught,
when you need it, and I'm hooked, and I can't get out?
I would say probably when I was about 18 or 19, because from about 14 to 17, you know, my parents had me, they put me in rehabs. I went into juvenile detention for getting in trouble, and it wasn't, I went because they put me there, not because I wanted to be. And so once I would get out, I went right back to the fun I thought I was having. But by the time I was 18 or 19, I realized I continued to do things, whether it was to steal or to, you know, doing things that were unheard of, you know, putting myself in positions that I would have never have thought. And at that point I realized there's a problem here.
How did your parents find out that you were realize that you were doing drugs?
They found them under my dresser.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. And so then my dad went to the state police and was like, you know, what do we do? And so at that point I was put on probation, and time went by. That was when I was about 15.
Wow.
How did you feel about your dad and your parents in general when they literally turned you in? They said, hey, my daughter's on drugs, here they are, we need help, what are we going to do? How did you feel about it? Did you feel betrayed? Did you feel angry? You know,
I was angry, definitely, because I knew that I couldn't be out there doing what I wanted to do. I couldn't say I felt betrayed at that moment. I was just angry. Yeah.
So when you said by the time you were 19, you realized that I'm in trouble. This is not just a fun thing anymore. Yeah. What did you do? How did you cross that bridge from fun to, hey, this is not fun anymore. This is something that is destroying me and destroying my life, and I need help. How did you deal with that?
At that time, I talked to my mom, and we talked about leaving, because we thought, well, if we get out of the environment, this is definitely going to be, you know, a plus for us. And so I told her I've always wanted to move to California. And so she said, okay, you know, and so she moved over there with me for a couple of months. Wow. Got me an apartment. I started working. Things were going well for a while until they weren't again. And I got involved with a guy and who I thought was military, and he turned out to be using a fake ID. Oh, wow. Wow. At that point I said, Lord, why is it? Anyways, but I started partying again with him, and it just, basically unraveled on me once again. And at that point, I became addicted to methamphetamine, which was another step up for me.
Mom was still there?
My mom was still there, and for about another couple of months until she just thought, I can't do this anymore, and she left back home to be with my dad. And and she left me there, and I stayed there maybe 3 to 5 more months. I can't really remember, but I stayed there on the streets until I called and said, come and get me.
Well, we're gonna have to go to a commercial break.
Sure.
But we're gonna hear more from Stephanie in a moment about how she fell into the trap of drug addiction and who it was that helped her overcome. You're watching Real Talk with the Jenkins. I'm Dr. G.
I'm Lady MJ.
And we are the Jenkins.
Real Talk with the Jenkins. We'll be right back after these messages.
My name is Travis with Grace Transmissions. Here at Grace Transmissions, we have a reputation for customer service, and we've been serving the San Angelo area for over 45 years. Our focus is you, the customer. So whether you need a diagnostic check or a complete transmission service repair, we're here for you. Grace Transmissions, where service meets quality, and that's our #1 priority. We're here when you need us.
Gray's Transmissions, 1202 Pulliam Street, San Angelo. Broadcasting worldwide to every nation, this is the Gospel America Television Network. Broadcasting to every nation on Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, and online at gospelamerica.net.
The Gospel America Television Network is a worldwide streaming Christian television network based in our beautiful city of San Angelo. It's similar to TVN or Daystar. We produce local programs like Real Talk with the Jenkins that airs Saturday morning at 8 on Fox West Texas. We produce TV commercials for companies, corporations, and community organizations. Gospel America is dedicated to our community. Since our debut broadcast in August of 2018, we have donated video production and free airtime for the Chamber of Commerce, the San Angelo Police Department, the Alcohol Drug Abuse Council of the Concho Valley, better known as ADAC, the Food Bank of San Angelo, and many others. We continue to demonstrate our support because San Angelo is our home.
You can watch us on Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, and online at gospelamerica.net 24 hours a day. Download our app from the App Store or from Google Play to watch us on your smartphone or tablet. To watch on your TV at home, add us to your Roku, Apple, or Fire TV channel lineup. What's really amazing is that advertising on our network gives you an affordable and cost-effective way to reach your audience here in San Angelo, across the nation, or around the world. Not only are we a streaming broadcast network, but we are a complete production studio, creating videos for companies like Angels Care Hospice, Shannon Healthcare, and Gray's Transmissions. So when you're ready for a corporate presentation video or to advertise, call the Gospel America Television Network at 203-410-6053. And now back to Real Talk with MJ and Dr. G.
You're watching Real Talk with the Jenkins. I'm Dr. G.
I'm Lady MJ.
And we are the Jenkins. And with us is Stephanie. Stephanie, your last name again?
Sandoval.
Sandoval. I want to make sure I say it right. Sandoval. Okay, now Stephanie, you once had a drug addiction. You were hooked on crack cocaine and heroin, and then later you had some meth too. Okay, so we understand that a lot of young people experiment with drugs. You went from fun to I'm in trouble, I'm trapped, and now you're out of it. How did that happen?
Okay, so we fast forward until I was about 19, realizing my world was falling apart. And I was trying to get off by my own will, my parents' help. And at that point, I found out I was pregnant. And I always wanted to be a mother all my life. I mean, gosh, ever since I can remember, you know, little girls want to be a mom and a wife. And I knew that I couldn't continue what I was doing if I wanted to be a mom. And so I cried out. I called my dad one night at 2 a.m. and I said, come and get me from the place that I was. And he went and got me. And that same week, he heard about Joshua 1-2 Fellowship, which was previously Victory Ministries in San Angelo. And he drove and got me. The pastor said, bring her this week. The enemy will try and put a stop to it. She needs to come now. And so I was here in a couple of days. And since then, you know, I came to know the Lord at the Joshua 1-2 Fellowship. I got saved. Unfortunately, at that time, I didn't complete the program. But I had some struggles along the way for about an 11 to 12 year period. And
you said something that was really interesting off camera, and you said when you concerning your struggles, you went, you got help, you didn't complete the program, but it's kind of like, tell us about those 7 spirits that you were talking about before, because that's very, very powerful.
Yes. So there's a verse in the Bible that talks about, you know, when the enemy leaves and I don't know exact, I can't quote it, I'm sure the house is swept clean, and you know, and you go back to it, and next time they're going to bring 7 more wicked than themselves. And so I think this is what happened those years later. I told you I had an accident snowboarding, and I fell and broke my wrist, and I was put on pain prescription, which is very dangerous in this country right now. But a whole opioid thing, and you know, it was just unraveling from there, and I went from the pain medication. When you can no longer get the pain medication, you look to the streets, especially when you have gone through that before. And I got addicted to heroin. And so at that time, I was married to an amazing man who has never dealt with drugs, never dealt with alcohol. And when our family about fell apart, he said, you're gonna go get help or you're gonna leave. And so I didn't want to lose my family. I didn't want to lose my children. You know, they mean so much to me. I didn't want to ever lose them. And so I remembered the Joshua 1-2 Fellowship. I remember Jesus.
And that forced you to go back. That persuaded me to go back to Joshua 1-2.
Yes, and so we came back, and well, I came back to finish the program that I started.
And he took care of the kids while you came back.
And what's that?
Your husband took care of the kids while you came back?
Yes, he took care of the kids.
Okay.
And I stayed here, and through the time that I stayed here, you know, we felt a calling on our life. I returned home to New Mexico in 2018, but it didn't feel like we should be there anymore. And through much prayer, my husband said, you know, God is calling us there. And we moved here, and we've been here ever since. We are so grateful for what Jesus has done in our lives and in our family. We're serving in the ministry. You know, we have jobs here now, but I know that God has a greater plan, you know, for this time. We're just working, but I know He's calling us to the ministry, whether it's to open a home like the Joshua Fellowship or to open a church one day. You know, we're coming to some bad times, and the world needs to know about Jesus. And
they need to know that Jesus is not a figment of somebody's imagination.
No.
Jesus is real.
He's very real.
His word is real. And God is all powerful. We can do it. I don't feel like I'm feeling like preaching. I'm getting a little preaching now. I'm trying to be nice, you know, but at the same time, I don't care. I ain't scared of no devil.
As Jesse Duplantis would say.
That's right. And you know, the Bible says, the thief cometh not but for to steal, to kill, and to destroy. Mm-hmm. But I'm so glad Jesus didn't leave us hanging there. He said, I am come that we might have life, and that we might have it
abundantly.
more abundantly. And it looks like you're getting the more abundant life now. So you're in the ministry now. You've relocated from New Mexico was it, to now San Angelo.
Yeah.
You're working in ministry. What is your number one goal now? Okay, first the focus was on you, getting the deliverance and the healing that you needed. Where do we go from here?
But just following the Lord, like I think I told you this off camera, when I was in the home, I had a moment of revelation, as God does for us normally. And, you know, and he mentioned to me about delivering me from drugs. But I also explained that I didn't come from, you know, a family of people maybe that had been in prison, or, you know, I come from just a normal family, you know, we good jobs, or however you want to call it. But my focus was money, having a good job, having a good title, you know, bigger and better things in life. And God showed me that day, I want to deliver you not only from drugs, but from this materialism, the worldliness,
the trapping,
the trapping,
the thing that hooked you into getting, you know, doing the drugs and wanting the fame, the fortune, all of that stuff.
Yeah, definitely. So I realized at that moment that I don't know who I am, Lord, because all I've ever known is either drugs or that person who was full of herself. But I want to be full of you, Jesus. And so whoever that person is, I'm going to live day by day learning and walking and walking in whatever call that is. And so I don't really know what tomorrow and the next day hold, but I just go day by day, walking the walk that God has for us.
Yes. So when you had the revelation, it was like during the night, or?
It was in the night on my bed. I was down in the dorm with the ladies reading my Bible, and God just spoke to me.
What would you tell the young people that are dabbling in drugs now, that started, like you started at 14, and we have children out there now starting at 14?
I think they're looking to be filled. I think they don't understand where the emptiness is coming from.
Yes.
I don't think they understand that only Jesus can fill. It's like a puzzle piece, and it's only for Jesus, and you can try and shove every other shape in there, but until you put the right one, he will fill you like you can never imagine what the Lord can do for you, and how full of joy and peace that what he can do, you know, what he can bring. I can't even put it into words because it's so amazing. You know, we always say there's no high like the Most High.
Yes. And the Most High never leaves you with an after effect.
He doesn't leave you empty. He doesn't leave you wanting.
Yes.
You know, you maybe want more of him, but you're not empty, wanting to fill that void.
Real Talk with the Jenkins. We'll be right back after these messages.
Christian television is here. The Gospel America channel streaming worldwide on Roku, Fire TV, and online at www.gospelamerica.net. Pastors and business owners broadcast your message or business on Gospel America by calling 203-410-6053. It's affordable and cost-effective. Call now to air your broadcasts on the Gospel America channel.
My name is Travis with Grace Transmissions. Here at Grace Transmissions, we have a reputation for customer service, and we've been serving the San Angelo area for over 45 years. Our focus is you, the customer. So whether you need a diagnostic check or a complete transmission service repair, we're here for you. Grace Transmissions, where service meets quality, and that's our #1 priority. We're here when you need us.
Grace Transmissions, 1202 Pulliam Street, San Angelo. And now back to Real Talk with MJ and Dr. G.
And we want people to know also that if you're in trouble with drugs or alcohol and you need help, there is an array of organizations out here that are helping. Tell us about yours.
So I serve at the Joshua 1-2 Fellowship. It's a ministry, faith-based ministry for men and women who have struggled with drugs and alcohol. And we don't charge a penny. We don't take government funding. We fundraise everything. And we let the Lord continue to bless our ministry.
And how can people reach Joshua 1-2 Fellowship if they need help?
Our number is 325-658-1061.
Okay, and as you can see, we're posting that number at the bottom of the screen. She can't see it right now, but it's on the bottom of the screen. And we'll have more from Stephanie in a moment. You're watching Real Talk with the Jenkins.
Real Talk with the Jenkins. We'll be right back after these messages.
The Gospel America Television Network is a worldwide streaming Christian television network based in our beautiful city of San Angelo. It's similar to TBN or Daystar. We produce local programs like Real Talk with the Jenkins that airs Saturday morning at 8 on Fox West Texas. We produce TV commercials for companies, corporations, and community organizations. Gospel America is dedicated to our community. Since our debut broadcast in August of 2018, we have donated video production and free airtime for the Chamber of Commerce, the San Angelo Police Department, the Alcohol Drug Abuse Council of the Concho Valley, better known as ADAC, the Food Bank of San Angelo, and many others. We continue to demonstrate our support because San Angelo is our home.
You can watch us on Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, and online at gospelamerica.net 24 hours a day. Download our app from the App Store or from Google Play to watch us on your smartphone or tablet. To watch on your TV at home, add us to your Roku, Apple, or Fire TV channel lineup. What's really amazing is that advertising on our network gives you an affordable and cost-effective way to reach your audience here in San Angelo, across the nation, or around the world. Not only are we a streaming broadcast network, but we are a complete production studio, creating videos for companies like Angels Care Hospice, Shannon Healthcare, and Gray's Transmissions. So when you're ready for a corporate presentation video or to advertise, call the Gospel America Television Network at 203-410-6053. And now back to Real Talk with MJ and Dr. G.
You're watching Real Talk with the Jenkins. I'm Dr. G.
I'm Lady MJ.
And we are the Jenkins. And with us is Stephanie. Stephanie, your last name again?
Sandoval.
Sandoval. I want to make sure I say it right. Sandoval.
Broadcasting worldwide to every nation, this is the Gospel America Television Network. Broadcasting to every nation on Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, and online at gospelamerica.net.